30 seconds. Catch your breath. Switch top bar.
That's a free negative.
Yes. Switch top bottom.
I'm right here.
I'm surprised the millennials talking hashtags. Try to put a baby. 60-pound baby. I really like what the cover of that photo says from that. I was watching. I said I like the way we went over it.
Oh yeah.
It was like just a bucket of information that you could go back to.
Yeah. No, I've rewatched it a lot already.
I kept it off of the public feed, only so you could share it whatever you want.
You can share my videos on public.
I want you to work on it.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't need it.
Fair enough.
You could tell them. And I'll tell other people. I'll show other people that stuff.
Mouth comes out, wash your head.
Since she came to the class. There's a girl I went on this and she started to do this week. Like, seen her a few months ago.
She started another gym.
Yeah, she said she started this year. I think I gotta look.
What's her name?
Eve, Everett, Eve. I'll look. I'll send it.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's just Eve, but they've been with us for a while.
And I didn't know.
Bluebell?
You're ready to go.
Yeah, she's been living with us.
Take me out.
Yeah. I'll go down, drink some water.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I just saw that she was.
Get your fight from around here.
I'd drop it.
So, in Portuguese, you train and the circuit says like, basically you use like, it's a gente bom.
It's like, that was the lightest thing I had heard in a while.
Starbucks and antique store.
So, I think
Line up what will work.
what's that the gym is called?
Yeah. Yeah, in Portuguese is. Anyways, moving on. Mount. I have another down here. Now we're here. So, we have a tendency in Jiu-Jitsu to think of positions as static. Like if I'm in guard is just this position here where I have my legs wrapped around me and we're just here, static. This is the position. If I'm on his back, I have an under and an over and have my hooks in, and this is the position. If I'm in mount, that was a very suspicious noise you just made. Anyways, I'm straddling him here, and this is my position. But in truth, practically speaking, for Jiu-Jitsu, for actually dominating a position, it's dynamic. Mount is not me sitting here on top of him, like so. Mount is my feet fighting for inside position, so that he can't get his foot inside here and start working on a dustpan. So it's stripping his hands off of my hips and off of my knees, so he can start pushing my legs down. It's driving in for an underhook so that I can move to high mount. This is the position. It's dynamic. At no point do we ever want to just be sitting here like, oh, I got my position. Yay. Now I'm safe. No. Anytime you find yourself in a position of control and you're just sitting there, you're not doing anything proactive, it doesn't have to be a big thing. Just like, watch the freaking hands. He gets his hand on my knee. And on my knee. Not doing that. Gets his hands on my hips. Nope. Not doing that. Not doing that. Just as long as we're being proactive. Just sitting here, regardless of the position. If we're standing and we have our grips, if I'm in guard, whatever, if I'm just sitting here, I'm doing nothing more than providing him a framework to do his moves. I'm a grappling guy at this point. So, I need to be thinking, where are his feet? I'm getting inside. I need to be, where are his hands? I need to be stripping the grips off. I need to be driving for underhooks at all times. So we're dynamic here. In mount, there are three basic types of mounts. We have a low mount, where we're down on his hips and we're driving, looking for underhooks. We have a high mount, where we've already achieved our underhooks and we're driving up here, hunting submissions. And we have S mount variations, where he's turned and we've gone with him to expose and start controlling his flank. Now, typically said the S mount and the high mount are for submissions and taking the back, and low mount is for control. So really, it's just a staging area. It's a place, it's a platform from which to go to something better. You never really want to stay in your low mount. You can, there are positions you can, get grapevines and do a little midnight ride here. Very fun. But for the most part, if you're just in low mount, you're just giving them a platform to escape from. You're just giving him something to push off of while he shrimps out or he flips around, all this. So, immediately, I want to be hunting my nose so that I can move up into a mount that's actually going to give me good control. It's going to give me submission opportunities. With that said, there are a couple submissions from a low mount. There's a caveat that 4 out of 5 times, they're not going to actually give you a submission. But they are going to give you a situation where he comes up with his hand to defend himself, and now you have an underhook and you're moving up to upper mount, into high mount. But it's still worth going over. Number 1, my personal favorite, it's a smother. Covering the mouth and nose. Why do I like it? 1, because it's simple. So simple that I don't really need to teach it to you. Because everyone understands how to do this, and it's just instinctively, yes. That's fine. Now, some people will say, "Oh, that's not. It's against the rules in IBJJ." Fuck. If you're going, it's against the rules in IBJJF competitions. Okay. If you go to an IBJJF competition, don't do it. Some people, if you go to cover their mouth and nose, will lick your hand. Yes. If that bothers you, loosen up a bit. Or, exactly. Or do what I do and take your rash guard, put it up over your mouth, and then just so, yes. But, in all seriousness, one of the higher percentage submissions from a low mount is going to be our Ezekiels. There's three. There's smothers, there's Ezekiels, and there's cross collar chokes. Basically speaking. Ezekiels are going to be your highest percentage, generally. Ezekiel, I'm low on his hips. I have to have whichever arm I'm going to drive up under his head, I have to have the opposite hook in deep. Because if I drive this in here and I don't have this opposite hook in deep, what's he going to do? He's going to grab his arm, he's going to hook the living shit out of it. Yeah. It's going to go to hell in the hand rest real fast. Right. So, I have to have this hook, and I have to have it deep. So deep, in fact, that my foot is basically hooking around the back and onto his shin. Now that we're here, chest to chest, this hand is driving deep. So deep that I can put my finger in his opposite ear. Now, I'm finding some people will go for, a no-gi type of situation. If I had to be, I'm using the gi for this choke. I'm going to grab my cuff. Don't grab on the inside, because that can result in you breaking your own fingers, which is admittedly very funny to watch, but not fun to experience. I'm going to grab my own cuff. My hand is rotating underneath, knuckles like so, into the side of his neck. Think about it. I'm going to think about sticking them here, and then rotating them inward like so. It's not the cleanest choke, not necessarily the nicest choke, it's the most effective one. So again, I'm in my low mount, hip on hip, chest to chest. I'm hooking deep on the opposite side, driving my hand where I can look. Look at this, like eye from the opposite side. grabbing my own cuff, rotating it under. Knuckles is karate here. Now, again, even this is pretty high percentage as far as the low mount submissions go. But even so, it's going to be like 1 out of 5. The other 4 out of 5, he's going to bring his hand up. He's going to give me my underhooks to go to high mount. Questions? Comments, concerns from my own safety?
Another gonna be legal in the AGF.
We have to check the rule set specifically. Don't count on
I
it.
want to say this is double check because there's also different rule sets for the things, so I usually touch it on, but we'll look at it, I think it is. But let's, I'll be back to make sure that.
Alright,
I think
Partners?
it's we're doing it.
one person works 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3. And it's good, if you have like small hands, you don't even need to use like your fist. Sharpen the lens. So, and just, it's not You don't want to do that. You don't want to hit it on the jaw. Right. We're gonna have,
Yeah, keep it straight. Oh, okay.
So don't do this.
Yeah, keep it straight.
we're gonna have Merlin here in the center real quick. So if you are wanting more of a blood choke and less pain, you can take your fist, instead of taking your fist to the near side, you can bring it to the far side, like so, and just start drawing your elbow back, and that will be more of a blood choke.
Carotid on
Yes.
your left side.
It's carotid on both sides, because you're getting your grip here, and this is gonna cut into the carotid on this side, and then your hand's gonna cut into the carotid on the opposite side. You just pull it across. And start drawing your elbow back. Alright. Second part works. 1, 2, 3. headlock series. So Merlin is here. Yeah. Alright. Just finishing up with some self-defense. Very common schoolyard bully style action. Merlin's wrapping up a headlock here. His goal is going to be to drag me to the ground and put me on my back. So he's reefing down on my neck. Exactly. If we don't immediately address our posture, we're going to get taken out every single time. The second this gets wrapped up, the hips have to go into the back of his leg. My chin is up. I'm gripping his far side hip. Free hand is to his chest. If at any point, during any kind of technique that we do from here, my hips are no longer pressing into the back of his leg, it's going to happen. We're going to get taken down. This is the shitty position to be in. So, the second we feel the wrap up, my hips are going in the back of his leg. And the entire time, they are staying pressured into the back of his leg. Really try to hit me down now? Free hand is in his chest. And here we are. If Merlin goes to punch, same shit as before. With the arm drag, my hand is going to his bicep. Merlin goes to punch, we're here. Again, action is faster than reaction, so if Merlin goes to punch me here, my hand has to be closer to my face than his is. He goes to punch, I'm already at his chest. I go to the bicep, wrap down to the wrist here. Now, he's a really big guy and I can't reach around very well. I'm just going to wrap at his bicep. Otherwise, I'm going to slip under, grab his wrist. From here, I'm coming with my newly free hand here to his wrist, and I'm pulling down on it. Pulling down, posturing up, and now, one quick movement. We're here. Yep. Alright, again. Immediately, the hips are into the back of his leg. Immediately, whether he has his back up or not. Hips are in. Hand to the chest. He goes to punch. We're at the bicep. Strip down to the wrist. Make our grips here. Grip the near side wrist. Duck under. And away from you. Down here. Questions? None? Like Silvio says, nobody has no questions, nobody understood nothing. He wraps, posture, chest, he goes to punch, bicep. Now, if he is such a gargantuan human that I cannot reach here, we're going to go deep underhook, and we're going to go hip toss. But, for now, we're just going to work, get our grip, wrist, out from under, and now we're just going for a nice little walk in the countryside. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's pair up. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3. Just talking white belts, I like those.
I know, I knew it.
How the turntable.
It is always like.
Quickly, turn the body.
Good job, Angela.
Very nice. And his name is John Cena. One more rep each. And we'll finish it up. Alright. One last detail before we line it up. Merlin here. Over here, leg behind, into the back of the hip, in the back of the knee here, posture, heels a punch, wrap it up. Quick detail Mike brought up is that where we want to grip the wrist. When we strip from down here to the wrist, you feel this little bone right, these two little bones right here in his wrist. I want to put my middle finger right between those and pinch from the other side with my thumb right there. That is the position of control. If I'm down on his hand, he's gonna like wiggle around. I have nothing to grab onto. If I'm up here, I'm trying to grab something that's like too large for my hand. It's too long. The circumference is too great here. And I'm not gonna be able to control. And also, if I'm trying to shove it back in my hand here, I don't have the distance. I don't have the length to get it back. I need to be here at the wrist. These two little bones right here. Middle finger right in the middle there, and we're cutting it in half. Looks like. Now, Questions, comments, concerns? Sir?
So you're focusing on this, these figures are still getting together, but this is all your focus. Everything's still supporting, but instead of focusing on the other figures, it's this figure. If that makes sense.
Beautiful. Alright, let's line it up. Alright. Competition is just now hitting the snooze alarm for the third time. They're crawling to their coffee machines, all groggy, terrified of the day. Time has come for us to go forth and take their lunch money, and their lunch, and their job if we want. Driving earnings before you, hear the lamentations of their women. I made this speech many times before, but John has just come back, so we want to make sure he's in the proper mindset. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, lady, thank you very much. That's all.
I kind of figured that's why you
The
said it.
AGF one, and I've never.
Let's get started. So over here, the briefcase bomb is Italia. And you have to say it like that. It's very good. Say Italia. Alright. Let's get started. That's all. Let's warm it up with a little bit of progressive guard by Merlin here. This week, we've been, over the past few weeks, going over progressive guard 1, which is basically the progressive guard that happens when we have them at legs distance. When we have them outside of punching range. This is something we just make a very important point here. The entire purpose, the entire existence of an open guard like this, where we have our legs in between our hips, is so that Merlin can't punch me. If my legs are bent such that he can reach my face, there's no purpose for this even existing. I need him at distance, so he cannot reach my face. This is the entire purpose of having this open guard here. Now, there can arise a time or a situation, whether it's because Merlin is just too strong, or I feel I need better control of him, where I'm gonna bring Merlin into my closed guard. This is gonna bring us into that progressive guard stage 2. But how we do this is very important. I can't just like, okay, open guard. I'm just gonna stand over me and just gonna reach my face. So, a few steps are gonna have to occur here. One, I need to respect my face. Arms are up, basically like I'm forming a helmet for myself. Legs begin to bend. If Merlin doesn't come in, okay, we're gonna give a kick here. We're gonna stand up, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. If he does come in, again, I'm making a helmet for myself. He starts coming in. He's coming in. As soon as my elbows reach my knees, now my guard is opening. And again, if he's not pressuring in, or if he's not really pressuring in, just get away from me. If he's pressuring in, as soon as my elbows reach my knees, this is where I'm opening. My feet are sliding off of his hips. I'm wrapping with one hand. I'm not going like this. One hand is still guarding my face. One hand in the back of his head. And I'm bringing it in. pops my legs apart. It's gonna be the same shit, whether I decide or he decides. Same shit. Making my helmet, pinching my knees. As soon as my knees touch my elbows, one hand is back.
I think the seat, I think the belt's gonna be fine.
Specialist.
We'll get him a new one, we'll just try it. They get a C1 and a C small.
Does he have a C1 back there?
I have to look, it's not too short, I gotta.
Alright, Sarah, Natalia,
I was gonna say, 'cause that's
working.
definitely gonna be too big on him.
Dante. It might be you working in here?
Yeah, I am.
Alright, Dante and Merlin. Gilman and Mike. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Italia. Show the proof of
Actual self-defense.
That's a lot of words.
Am I coming in and then she's protecting her face
Yes.
and whatnot?
So, pop the legs. Good. Now, here. So, like that yourself. Pinch the knees together so you control how fast she comes in. Bring your knees to your elbows. Good. Now, so we here. Wrap the head over and off with one hand. Good. And wrap her over the legs. Good. Now here, one hand's going to be controlling her head, controlling her posture. The other arm is wrapping the head so that she can't punch you. Now, can she punch you with this arm? Maybe. She's not gonna. It's gonna be like left hand. She's not gonna do damage as long as you have her head controlled here. She's having to like reach around her head, and she's not gonna really hurt you. Wrap it up very good. Again.
Okay, so this is just what I do regular. The hug, dude, the hug, it works. The hug works.
Take the head.
Take it by itself.
Wrap the head. Good. Wrap the arm. Very nice.
Yeah. I'm all like, okay, great, heads.
Got Merlin here, we're gonna work into our takedown today. We're working takedowns off of an arm drag. So, let's say we have a very tense situation developing here, and Merlin is angry about something. In this case, Merlin's a forest ranger, so it's probably gonna be like someone dropping cans in his forest. Next. He's very irate about this. So, what posture do I would adopt in this situation? When someone's getting heated here, there's a possibility that it could escalate to physical violence, but it has not yet.
Take your shirt off.
Take my shirt off, yes, and ask them if they know who I am. Yes, 100%. Now, we want to be in a good base, we want to be balanced, posture is up, we don't want to be, what's up? Our hands are going to be up. Action is faster than reaction. So if he goes to punch me in the face, my hands would best be closer to my face than his are. I'm going to be here on the inside. My hands are open for security cameras. You don't want to have to try and explain this to a judge. Our hands are open. We're here in the middle, so that if Merlin goes to throw, we're here. I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be catching his hand. It's moving too fast. I'm here on the inside, he goes to punch, I'm in his bicep. His bicep moves very little and very slow. So this I can catch. This is going to be okay. Now, for the arm drag, there's two things that are going to happen at the exact same time. One, I'm wrapping around his tricep here, and I'm flinging it across. Two, my other hand is shooting under his armpit and catching. Slowly, there's a punch. Shoulder to shoulder, my ear goes to his back. There's a punch. Now here we are with our arm drag. Step two, my free hand coming to his hip. And I'm switching gears. Questions so far? Alright. So, we're here. Beer cans in Merlin's forest. He's very irate. Ear to his back. Free hand to his hip. Switch ears. Now, for the day, we're working into our Russian time. So what I'm going to do here, my hand that's on his hip is going to come to his bicep. My hand that was on his bicep is going to his wrist. Notice, my hands are oriented in the same way that his is. I'm not coming over the top of it, oriented in the same way, and I'm coming to his wrist. Now this hand up here is bicep, I'm going to make it a fist, and I'm going to punch it under my own arm. Now, would we like to ask Merlin how exactly this feels?
Good. He's trying.
So, we have two bones here in the forearm, and just due to defensive reason, there are a lot fewer nerves in this outside portion than there are on the inside. The inside is very sensitive, the outside is basically numb. So, I'm going to be taking this knife edge outside of my forearm and driving it into the tender inside portion of his forearm. Over here, ear cans in the forest. Switch the ears. Hip hand goes to the bicep. Bicep hand goes to the wrist. The fist go under, and I'm punching his hand to his chest. I'm going to grind that knife edge into the inside of his forearm and dropping my elbow down to the ground. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's proceed. 1, 2, 3. In 2 reps, we switch.
Oh, yes, very
So we're going to work a few reps first of just the arm drag, get that down, and then we'll go into Russian tie. distance. You don't want her to be up here. You don't want her to be out here where you can't have any control. If Sarah's getting angry with me, I'm gonna be, yes. I'm gonna be here. Close enough to like, okay. Calm down. Catching on the inside of the bicep. Leaning it across. Try that one time. Here, with me.
Run away. Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally regret it.
So hands on the inside here. You're very stern looking. Direct eye contact. Hey, piss off. What's going on here? Yeah. I go to swing, inside of the bicep. Good. Wrap around the tricep. Good. Fling it across. With a gusto. Yes. Ready? Hands up here. Very firm. Good. Yes.
Like
Okay.
you're gonna hit someone with your baton glove. That's
This
how
is
I
better. Yes. This is good. Yes. Right at the jump. Very stern. Very authoritative. Yes. From here. Back. Good. So one thing. Whenever we do this, we want 5 fingers together. If this thumb is all by itself, it can get very easily.
Yeah. That's real, dude.
There we go. Good. Now, the second part, you remember. Shooting under here, yes. Catching, very nice. Moving through, good. Here to my back. Good. Free hand to my hip, very nice. Switch it. Outstanding. Do this with Sarah.
I want to make one and make pink face like that. Not now. But want it to be real.
Good, good. Other hand shoots under. Very nice. Pull it in. Good. To the hip. Very nice. Outstanding. Again. Once more. Good.
We're not touching for real.
Okay. Good. It's under. Beautiful. Push it in. Excellent. Okay. Now, we have it here. So get to this position, right? If she's falling over like this. But here,
Once you get this through,
come trade the bicep off,
you think so?
catch the wrist, stand and punch through, and do it. Give her a proper. Yes.
You're so tiny. Like, almost like that, you.
Good, good. Make sure you find a hip before you switch.
Got it. Okay. That's it.
Word.
Grabbing this.
Yes.
Good.
Boy, the hands sideways hurts. Good.
Then bring it. Yes. Here.
So,
This.
under your
Oh, yes. My bad. I have like, we're really going, whatever, it's okay. You ready for your turn? You got this.
hands up. Very authoritative, very stern. Back up, switch.
Yeah, Tessa definitely. I could be
Yeah, I
that.
don't like my hips now, loading all the way on my elbow. My elbows up here.
Good. Yes. Very nice. Here. Yes. Beautiful. All right. Now, over here. The hands on the hip. Full. Very nice. Yes. Excellent. Fist. Good. So this goes under. Short arms or short arms? Nice. Now, this is all right here. Even her forearm. Drive this hand over her chest. Good. One thing,
Yeah, what I'm gonna be able to grab.
and check it, have anything further? We're just be excellent time sheet. As it goes to swim here, rather than catch and then go.
You know,
Yes.
No, she's not. No,
Yes.
they want to go with me. No, she's just,
Very nice. Everyone finish the breath you're on. And then stand around talking to somebody. Nice. Okay. Yes. Standing. Outstanding. All right. You want to get a drink of water? Refresh yourself. We'll move on to mount. Everyone's favorite position. It's not my favorite position, like most people. We will all sit here patiently and wait for Merlin to return. His head is a shining point for us. Back Merlin down. All right. So, now, one trap that being in mount is easy to fall into is thinking, okay, I've made it. I can just sit here and everything will be great. In jiu-jitsu, you never want to think of a position as being static, as not moving. In every position, you need to be dynamic, you need to be at least doing maintenance. If I'm just sitting here, stationary, I'm doing nothing but providing a frame for Merlin to use for his techniques, for his sweeps, for his escapes. I need to be maintaining this position actively. Feet, I need to be having my feet on the inside of his. If his feet are being on the inside of my feet, this is step one for him to start doing like a dustpan speed, start stripping out and exactly all this. I need to be maintaining actively my feet tucked, hooks in here. He's going to be posturing on my hips, on my knees. He's going to be grabbing my pant legs. I need to be actively stripping those grips, actively making sure, actively making sure that he's not getting his first steps for a sweep or an escape. I need to be actively driving my underhooks. And this is the entire goal. From the second that you get into mount, is to get these underhooks and get them as high as possible. Because Merlin's a strong dude. Merlin, you come here. Hands on my chest. He can just like lift me up off. Merlin. Lift me now. The arms are compromised. If you're on the bottom and out, there are two things you never want to allow out. You never want to allow your elbows to become separated from your torso, and you never want to allow your elbow to be pushed across your spine. And that's what we want to do if we are on the top and out. There's high mount, where I have got my underhooks, and I'm moving up to here, and I'm hunting submissions. Or there's versions of S mount, where he's turned and I've turned with him. And now I have his flank and I'm whispering into his ear. Now, people will say low mount is for control and high mount and S mount are for submission. It's half true. The reality is that there's nothing that low mount can do that high mount can't do better. Low mount is for control, yes, but you can have more control from high mount. So that's really always our goal. Even if our submissions from low mount, but 4 times out of 5, what you're going to accomplish is not a submission, but getting them to raise their arm so you can get a submission. Get an underhook. So, if I'm attacking the choke here on Rogue's neck, 1 time out of 5, I'm actually going to choke and I'm going to finish it. Yippee-ki-yay. It's a delight. 4 times out of 5, all I'm going to do is, if he feels a little bit of danger, he's bringing his arm up to defend, and now I have an underhook, and we're moving to high mount. However, these submissions do still bear learning. There's 3 basics. Smother. There's Ezekiel's. And there are cross-collar chokes. Cross-collar chokes we will leave for another day, just because they're more complicated and they're more difficult to pull. They're not as high a percentage. Smothers are my favorite. Mostly because they're so simple. Like I almost don't even have to teach them. Because everyone knows how to do this. And yes, they're not legal in competition, if that's your goal. Is to do competitions. So what? Just don't do it in the competition. And of course you will run into the occasional freakazoid who will try to lick your hand and do this. Just loosen up. Or take their arm back. Their shirt like this and go there. Really loosen up. Like,
Teach you the dark parts.
yes. But smothers are simple, they don't really need to be taught. Cross-collar chokes I don't really like that much because they're really complicated and hard to get. Ezekiel's are high percentage. Ezekiel's is what we're going to work on today. Now, basic parts of an Ezekiel. I'm going to be driving one arm deep across under his head. Now, Sarah, what does this expose me to? If I can, yes. Him grabbing my arm and bumping me over. Yes. Exactly. So, to prevent that, first step of the Ezekiel from mount. Whatever arm I want to drive under his head, my opposite leg, I'm hooking deep. So deep that my foot is almost wrapped around the front of his shin. That way, if he goes to sweep me that way, shit out of what? Flawless. Flawless. It's Portuguese. Fuck. You want to write that down so you can remember that from the Sylvia. Now, after I've established this hook, opposite side arm is driving under his head. Drive really good and deep. Deep enough that you can almost like hook him in the eye on the opposite side. I'm going to grab the cuff of my sleeve on the top. I don't want to grab the bottom because that's just going to get in my way and it's going to leave a lot bigger hole for his neck. Also, I don't want to grab on the inside because I could break my own fingers, which, admittedly, very fun to watch, but not very fun to experience. So, I'm grabbing the top of my cuff. This hand is coming under, and I'm taking these knuckles here. And Fist comes in, and instead of driving directly into this side, my fist is coming to the opposite side. I'm going to withdraw my elbow slightly and pull my elbow back. That's going to be more of a blood choke. However, for the easy submission, hooking, driving the arm, grabbing the top of the cuff, these knuckles into the carotid artery. Questions, comments, concerns? Let's pair up, one each and switch. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Do you want the person to see each other?
Normally I don't talk that long, but it's the first day of walking around. So, something to talk. Those guys. These cups are gonna be very good for these people. Top, nice.
Last like a super
Nice.
or that was like
Yes, here. Pull the elbow back and drive it in. Nice. Good. Yes. position. Now, person on the bottom, your goal is to keep your elbows in close to your body, to establish some grips here, and you start shirking and working on your escapes. If at any point you escape to a half guard, you escape to a guard, if you escape to side control, or if you just sweep the person, you end up on top. Stop, back to the beginning, we reset. Person on top, your goal, specifically, is to get their elbows away from their body and work into a high mount. Work looking for submissions, looking for Ezekiel, cross collar chokes, shoulder locks, we're going to work on next week. Questions? Alright, get your partners, get water, mouth guards, then get your partners, and get them out.
Oh, yeah,
The new iPhone 17 Pro? With AT&T, the iPhone 17 Pro runs at 995. Any commercial. Most expensive plan ever.